We're at 755 Wall Street in LA, but it's the downtown LA flower market. I've been coming to this market for over 20 years. This is really good. Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Good, I'm so glad you're here. These are the poppies that I was telling you about. Hi, Gina, how are you? Oh, here we go. Daffodils. So I was looking for daffodils, and this is the only place that has them. They must be Dutch, which means they're gonna be $1 million. I really love this stuff. That's so pretty. These peach blossoms are going really fast. This is the stuff I get really excited about. I'm gonna get quince here. Oh, here it is. I'm getting this. This is my favorite thing. This comes double petal, which is very rare. You can't really order it, you just have to find it and get lucky. I'm gonna get 2 bunches of that. These are Gerbers. Oh, they're $10. Oh my God. Okay, I definitely have to get these for the party. These are amazing. We're in West Hollywood, coming back from the flower market, and we're going up to my friend Susan Feldman's house, who is a design lady, and her husband Bob. First, we're gonna do the flowers and get that knocked out of the way. We have the entryway to do, and also her dining table. These succulents are from my mom's house. When I do this, I try to make it look organic, like it's actually growing out of there. Start with taller elements. So I'm going for height in different locations right now. This is a strontia. It's like a wildy kind of look. The poppies really add that final detail I need. They're papery, they're ephemeral, they're spring, and they have a lot of movement in their stem, which I love. All right, I think this table's done. So for the entry, I'm gonna do bright, pastel-y spring stuff. When I do branchy stuff, I like to start with both the thickest trunk and also the tallest. So it's like one or the other or both. Typically they go together. So with this one, I think it's this guy. He looks pretty thick. He may not be the tallest, but he has a lot of movement to him, and he's got a lot of girth. This is a nice tall guy. What I love about early quince, early season, is there's no leaves. So you have this really like stark branch with the bloom. I want some movement, so I'm gonna put one in at an opposite angle. Now I'm gonna play with my birds of paradise. Like I kind of like him in there. I was gonna keep him separate and like do him over here, but I kind of like him in there. So birds of paradise have a old school connotation, much the way carnations do, of being cheap. So not everybody likes them. Plus they're tropical, and nowadays you can mix tropical with non-tropical, but in the past you kept them separate. Especially in LA, I think you can definitely mix stuff. Peonies for spring. These are nice, these are gorgeous. Because the orange is in there, I'm bringing in bright colors here, so I'm totally fine with that. So I've got delicate crepey flowers, I have tropicals, I have quince, which is the blooming branch, which is a small head, and then I have 2 big-headed stuff, 2 big-headed flowers. The roses, these are garden roses, O'Hara, and then the peonies. There. These are double petal tulips, but look how they resemble the peony in a smaller form. Like I love that. And I like his green foliage. Tulips have really pretty foliage. It doesn't last as long as a flower always, but this is a very spring vibe right here. So this guy's small, so he needs to stand out. So I'm gonna put him over here. He needs some. These are from my mom's plant that I gave her many years ago. I took all her flowers today. I am gonna put just a couple of these in there. I think we're done. We're gonna move into the kitchen and do food. I'm gonna cook now. Tonight, we are having a cheese and charcuterie plate with grapes and apples, 5 canapes to open. The main course is gonna be chicken breasts that I'm gonna grill and then roast, a compressed potato pave kugel with caramelized onions, and for dessert, we're gonna have a pavlova with berries. First up, short ribs. These are the short ribs. I'm just gonna salt them, pepper them, and then sear them. I like using kosher salt to season meat because I think it absorbs faster and you can control it better. This is the kabayaki sauce I used to braise short ribs because I did these earlier this week too, and I'm just gonna reuse it. So I have my kabayaki sauce working, and I'm going to now sear my short ribs. Good sound. So typically with short ribs, if I'm braising them, I do them overnight at 200 degrees for like 10 to 12 hours, but you can cheat it. I do them also at 325 for 3 hours, and they'll be fine. Et voila, that side. Now I'm gonna add in and this is gonna go in a 300-degree oven that I have over here with a lid. There it goes. Let's do the matzo balls. But I'm just gonna use the recipe on the back and then adjust it using homemade chicken stock. And instead of vegetable oil, I'm gonna use schmaltz, which is rendered chicken fat. And since I don't have that much, I'm gonna add duck fat to it. Homemade chicken stock. This just needs to rest for like 30 minutes so that the matzo meal fully absorbs everything. While that's resting, I'm gonna make my deviled egg filling. Freshly hard-boiled eggs. Beautiful, that's great. This is Japanese-style mayonnaise, Kewpie, as it's known, and the secret ingredient is MSG. It's like nothing.
I know.
But you don't need a lot. I got quail eggs, and I'm gonna set them inside dyed quail egg shells. Very delicate. Little salmon roe. Let's do the matzo balls. Matzo balls take about 30 minutes to cook. These are pretty small, so they might go a little quicker, but we'll see. You know they're close to done when they start to float. We're having pavlova for dessert. And I'm separating the eggs because I'm making meringue, so use only the whites. Because once you have fat in your whites, you're done with meringue. So I know I have 8 clean egg whites in there. In here, I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And this just helps stabilize them so that I know they won't deflate. Okay, so go to medium. And once they get a little bit soft, I'm gonna start add my superfine sugar. You don't want it too quickly. Oh yeah. 2 teaspoons of vinegar, 4 teaspoons of cornstarch. This is a double recipe. And the cornstarch gives it, the final product, a nice, dry, kind of flaky consistency on the outside. Oven, and they're gonna take a few hours. These we're gonna have to keep an eye on because we don't want color on them. We'll check them. These are for the potatoes. The kugel really is a potato pave. Onions are missing, so I'm kind of deconstructing it and I'm gonna put them back together. So the way I'm doing that is just by caramelizing onions. This is just for flavor. You don't actually have to add anything to it. This is potato pavés. They are gold potatoes, which is a medium starch potato. I sliced them thinly, layered them, cooked them for 3 hours at 300, compressed them with a weight on top overnight, and then now I'm deep frying them. But this is good to do ahead because they have so much oil, they will keep nicely. Tuna mochi appetizer. When you puff up the mochi, it gets crispy. I'm gonna fill it with tuna that's marinated quickly in this sauce I made. And then it gets avocado and seaweed. I'm doing lamb chops. It has been salted and peppered, and that's it. And I'm gonna sear it off. So this shrimp toast is shrimp and scallions blended together in a processor, and you can see the clumps of shrimp in there. So guests are arriving in about 30 minutes. I've got canapes ready, chilling in the refrigerator. Shrimp toast, sliced and ready to go in the freezer. I keep them frozen to preserve their shape. We have our lamb chops. They're seared off, so all they need to do is come to temperature. That'll only take like 10 minutes. Chicken matzo ball soup ready to go. The chicken is not to temperature. I'm gonna pop it in about 15 minutes before we eat so that it has time to cook and rest. We seared it off, and we did not cook it to a full 150, 60 degrees. The potatoes have been fried off, but they also just need to go into the oven to warm, and then the caramelized onions as well. So all this stuff will just get thrown in the oven when it's time to serve dinner. And then we have these short ribs. I think what I'm gonna do is serve them with a toothpick. Dinner parties make me think of new friends meeting. It's a chance for people to actually converse, as opposed to like a big party where you kind of have to float around. You might feel uncomfortable. At a dinner party, you're sort of forced into a conversation with somebody. And if it's someone you know, great. If it's someone you don't, even, that's great too.